All right. We've made it to the clock room. We've made it to day 7 of the Silent Hill 2 Remake Cam Hack playthrough. A week in, an official full 7 parts to this. And we're still in the apartments. And we've actually found a lot of interesting stuff so far. I've been really, really impressed with a lot of the subtle details and things I wouldn't have expected otherwise. Interesting out of bounds Easter eggs. Stuff just sort of hidden where you would never really be able to see it without something like this mod. So, been really impressed with the level of detail in this game. Nice little scare moment there. Admittedly, I like the way they set that up with the light from the TV breaking, the mannequin coming up to you. But we clipped through the wall last time. We actually saw this room a little ahead of time. Begins. Got drawers to look in, couches to look under. Crazy detail and things you'd never expect to have it, yeah. Like, there's a certain level of detail, I think, that is relatively expected from, like, good Silent Hill games. Because even going back to, like, Silent Hill 1, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Little references to horror and influences, inspirations, things like that, just kind of hidden around. So I feel like having interesting environments should sort of go hand in hand with a big part of Silent Hill's design sort of philosophy. But Bloober has really gone... They went unnecessarily hard on it with the level of detail. Maybe too much, considering how poorly optimized the game kind of is. Because there's definitely a lot of times where I'm like, this has got to be a super high-res texture for how much detail we're seeing on an object that's like doesn't need to be even there or using resources at all. But hey, it makes for a lot of fun in this sort of exploration. And those artists, they worked hard on putting all this stuff together. Definitely want to appreciate it to its fullest. I'm sure that's what the people who made all this stuff would want. Happy Burger. More of these little Happy Burger containers. We saw same one in Eddie's van, the white van on the observation. There is pickles in the box. Nothing else. Some leaves, maybe lettuce. Sort of looks like a leaf texture though. Someone did not want the pickles. Chinese food. There's noodles. There's still noodles left. Yeah, there is like a leaf texture on this counter. It's sort of clipping up through the bottom. Dog bowl. We're on this side. Mira. Was Mira here? Eating some of this Bang instant breakfast meat. I mean, if that's supposed to be dog food, that would make more sense. That is breakfast meat. Game's a little bit loud. I mean, that's mostly the chainsaw, but turn that down just a bit. I should have looked underneath first. Instead, I picked up the ammo that I don't even need. Get out of here. He got bored waiting in the other room. Like, this guy's taking too long. He's looking at everything. I'm not gonna wait for him to come through the door. We got some toys down here. Another one of the little stuffed bears. This one's got a little sheriff's badge on. Did the other one have that? I don't think the other one had a little star on it. For 11. Big wheel. Hey! Scary monkey. So these like are an actual toy from back in the day. But there is also the monkey from Stephen King's Skeleton Crew, which just got an adaptation. that I have not seen yet. But I was a big fan of the short story. I liked the monkey, and the image of it was on the cover for Skeleton Crew. And I can just remember the cover of that book very vividly. But yeah, considering the original Team Silent put a bunch of Stephen King references, Stephen King highly influential to the Silent Hill series. That's cool to see. Does it react if I shoot it? Damn. See, that would would have been the extra little detail, you know? Just make it crash the cymbals. Not a lot. Just like once or twice if you try shooting it. That's the kind of stuff that like makes me think of Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid, especially like MGS2 back in the day, had so many things like that. There were the little like toy versions of Vulcan Raven that you could shoot that would start going off and shooting little pellets. So many things in the environment were like interactable, either through just looking at them or using like specific things like the binoculars and stuff to look at them, or shooting it. There's a lot of stuff like that in Metal Gear Solid. Oh, you missing a hand? Lightly photoshopped, smudgy picture of a baby. Kind of looks, the way the smudge on the head, on like the top part of the head looks, it's like he had a bowl cut. Reminded me a little bit of oh my god, Rachel and I always think about this child actor and notice a lot of things that he's in from back in the day. But he was the little kid in Pet Cemetery, Gage. Miko. What is his name? Miko something. I always forget his last name. Miko Hughes? Yeah. That's kind of cool. We just see all the toys, photo, the creepy picture, the crib. Again, I feel like it's creepy without having to really over explain itself, which I think that's a really good way to do a lot of just scary things, a lot of creepy environmental stuff. You get just a little bit of something off and unsettling, but it paints a little bit of a picture. There's a bit of a theme to it all, and you can try and infer meaning from it. Like with James and Mary, Mary says in her letter, like, her and James couldn't have children because of her illness. And she mentions to Laura, like, if things had gone differently, if she hadn't been able to recover from her illness, that she would have liked to adopt Laura. So clearly there was some element, at the very least on Mary's end, for, like, wanting a child. And the illness would definitely take away that choice, that option, whether they wanted it or not. Another dirty toilet. Dirty toilet. Periodically, as I come out here, I need to check. Oh, this is it. The silhouette window. This is why I wanted to check. So we're gonna find out. Place your bets. When I clip through this window. Yo, what's up, 3Dog? Let me know what you think. When I clip through this window, is this going to be just a texture with nothing rendered on the other side of it? Is there going to be Mary? Is it going to be a mannequin? Or something else? Just a window texture? If it's not just a texture, then Bloober really needs to learn optimization. We already did, just to be fair to anyone who didn't see it, we already did see a window like this with a similar shadow behind it and light source behind it, and there was a lamp, like, rendered on the other side of the window. Like, nothing else, no room, nothing around it, but the lamp was there as a light source and to cast the shadow. That's looking pretty flat. Okay, so the lamp is here, the room is there. Can set up a pole? Nah, I'm not gonna wait that long. I'm too curious myself. So we can see the room and everything itself. Oh, it's the valve room that we're seeing there. It doesn't appear as though it's part of the sheets or anything. It's just painted essentially onto the texture of the glass, the window itself. Just to give the impression that there's a silhouette of Mary up there. How did Homecoming do it with Alex's father, like through the cloth? In Homecoming, he is actually rendered there. Alex's father, Adam Shepard, there is a physical model for Adam Shepard, completely detailed and everything, because you can clip through the wall in Homecoming, where they do a similar thing. Alex is in the basement of the Shepard home, and there's a curtain blocking part of the basement. and he sees the silhouette of his father standing on the other side of the curtain. When you cut through the curtain with your knife and then squeeze through into the room, it's just a mannequin that's standing there. Well, the switch happens when you interact with the curtain, when you stab it. If you never stab it, it doesn't swap the model out. So if you just clip into that room, it's very easy to clip through things in Homecoming without any kind of mods. The game's just broken. But if you clip into that room without interacting with the sheet, there is just a model of Adam Shepard. And it even has animations. You can attack him and he will like stumble backwards. Like he has animations and stuff tied to him that never come up anywhere else in the game. So it's really, really interesting how Homecoming does that, where they've got a full model, they've got animations and stuff tied to it that are just unused through the normal gameplay. And then they do a swap. The moment you interact with the sheet to get into that area, they swap out Adam's model for a dress form, a mannequin. But still, really cool effect as you're running around out here, just to see the window, the silhouette, just enough. It's funny how striking not only the image of Mary is for this game, and how they sort of set it up for you by, you know, giving you the photo and a couple of flashbacks and things to Mary by this point. You find the mannequin with Mary's dress on it. Just even the silhouette at this juncture is enough to sort of invoke the idea of Mary. Imagine how James feels. Every little thing around him makes me... Every little thing around him makes him think of her. Sort of surprised James doesn't acknowledge it. That's to illustrate, I think, just how strong his delusion is. I think a lot of times we as the player are seeing things differently from him. Like, we're seeing a great deal of what James sees, but James not reacting to, like, corpses that are literally him. There's a lot of things that sort of give the impression that James himself is, like, even further gone than what we as an outside sort of viewer, as a player, are able to see. I think that's sort of maybe a way to indicate what is being manifested by the town and how much of it is just James's own denial, his own extreme level of mental repression. We start getting even more and more imagery here. The wheelchair, it's like all wrapped up. These like kind of nicer leather chairs. For some reason, these types of chairs really just invoke the feeling of doctor's office to me. This feels like Mary sitting in an office with James and the doctors, like, talking about just how bad everything is. How much worse her condition is getting, the fact that it's not treatable, that they're not having any progress. Because it was not fast. Mary didn't just, like, get sick and then immediately go through the events of like illness, going home, getting killed. It was over the course of 3 years. I'm sure they had tons of visits in little offices and sat in chairs and things just like this. Three Dog said it's one thing that adds extra sting to the story. She was just about to die anyway. It was going to be 3 years at most, and those 3 years were up. Yeah, it definitely adds kind of that layer to it. Although I will say the reference point for 3 years, because that is part of James's delusion, likely coming from, in the original game, James, during the ending, has dialogue in one of the endings where he talks about how it's been a long 3 years. And remember, at that point, he is supposed to be kind of out of his delusion. He's remembering the actual timeline of events by then. And you hear an audio file. There's a little brief cutscene when you interact with some headphones in the library in the hotel, where the doctor, who's like diagnosing Mary, says that, you know, James asks, how long does she have? And the doctor says, could be 6 months, could be 3 years. And the fact that he was accurate on that estimate, the second estimate anyway, if we're to believe James's dialogue and kind of believe that the whole timeline of everything. And the remake actually removes that audio. You don't get the cutscene of James speaking with Mary's doctor, getting that how long does she have interaction. There's a little flashback moment where you can find the tape recorder and the headphones in the remake, but you can't actually play them. You can't listen to it. More cheesecake cookie boxes, stuff that we've been seeing. Oleander, Nub, do you have any thoughts about the recurring presence of the number 3 in the series? I mean, this is one of those things where if you were to ask the right Silent Hill fan, I'm sure they would have a long list of conspiracy theories and numerology to cite for you. I don't believe in that sort of stuff. I think that in terms of video games, 3 is just a common used number. Like, it's a well-rounded number. It's not too low, it's not too high, but having like 3 items to solve a puzzle, 3 pathways to choose from, 3 main characters in a scenario, having to do something 3 times. Like 3 as a number in terms of game design is sort of a golden number. It's used a lot. Not necessarily with any sort of specific relevance or meaning. So I don't feel like, outside of 3 being like the number of years that Mary was sick, which would be a reason for the number 3 to like come up from James's subconscious a lot, if you want to view it in that sort of light. Oh, we have another Burke painting. Burke? Bulk? I looked this artist up last time for another painting. We saw the signature. Bulk? Peter Balk. That's what it is. Balka. Norwegian painter from the 1800s. Sorry, I was looking the artist up. Better shot of the painting itself there. Because we saw, I can't remember if it was a different painting than this one, I thought. I'm sure Tassadul is searching. I've been meaning to go back over a lot of this and reverse image search things, but I haven't really had the time to sit down and do all that yet. Here's the radiology book that we've seen in a few places. There's recurring medical books, radiology, medical dictionaries. Again, things kind of alluding to Mary's condition, which is never specified in the original. It's left relatively ambiguous. Some people speculate based on like the symptoms of what it could have potentially been, because of how much it affected Mary's appearance, gave her a cough, things like that. But the developers themselves never gave a specific illness named or anything. Medical ethics and etiquette. So yeah, a lot of the same medical books and things that we've seen. I've got to shoot all of these pictures, by the way, because there has been exactly one instance of shooting a reflective surface or a mirror that reveals painting underneath. It is the northern lights over coastal landscape. Thank you, Tassadul. So, last time had a more clear view of the background. This one's more dirty. So, same painting, but obscured differently. A little different edit. The texture. Keep seeing this little corner of a texture. Like a sticker or something was there that got ripped off. Been on a lot of things. It just sort of looks like EISS. Jars. No light bulbs. Still trying to figure out if we will encounter light bulbs in any of these cans. Real goal of this playthrough. My driving motivation. Like, watch there be a whole bunch of fuses actually inside. Switches. Dustpans. Beluga delivery. Stuff in this box. Or is there? Yeah, I think it's like... Hard to tell if I'm looking at the wooden slats from up here, but no, I think there is... like file folders or something. Rusted chains. Repeated newspapers. Again, for where we're supposed to be, like being in an apartment complex, something about these chairs and table feels very like hospital waiting room rather than, I don't know, random part of the hallway in an apartment complex. Ultimately, this is kind of where we're headed. Toilet with the handlebars. Mannequin waiting over here. The mirror room. Picture room, whatever you want to call it. All these things in frames. Last stream, we saw that all of this stuff, a lot of these objects were already rendered even before the cutscene where you come over from Woodside Apartments to Blue Creek Apartments. We clipped out of bounds and saw like a lot of these assets were already here or like partially rendered. Now we get the radio. So there was a radio, like identical to this one, in James and Mary's home, in the apartment that was like a recreation of James and Mary's home. Now we can hear it playing Magdalene, the same song that he was hearing on the broken record in the jukebox in Barneely's. And then, yeah, later on in the hotel, if you examine the piano, James will actually play this as well. Play a few notes from it. The game audio back up a little bit. Whoa. I think tabbing out while using the mod may have made it work weird. All my functions are still working? Okay. Personally speaking, wish they went with another song for the radio, and the first time we hear Magdalene where Marie is telling James the story lessens the impact of hearing it for the first time post-elevator. I will admit, the music itself being diegetic is a strange choice. Like having these memorable songs, parts of the original game's soundtrack, sort of existing in this universe, in this world, as something that James knows and listens to and reminds him of Mary. I do feel like that's a little bit weird, but I understand it. I can definitely understand why Bluebird did it. I think in a lot of ways they want to make players sort of remember back fondly the original, the same way James is remembering Mary fondly. I think they wanted to have that kind of same sense in the player for people who were familiar with the original, that you're also sort of like thinking back to this game. You're thinking back on fond things that you liked in your memory. Same way James is. Anyway, give me a can of sliced peaches. And some raspberries. Some rare tuna. And the moist and delicious perfect taste pound cake with real strawberries. And some apple juice in a Spam can, please. I love that we still have the butter cake cookie. And relatively minor background assets from the original games. They like recreated for this. Like a picture or painting of a sunset. Maybe. It's supposed to be Rorschach tests. What do you see in the distorted picture? Probably not, considering how much of it is like actual existing artwork or just like edited photos. Actual photos. Trying to see what this... It's like red vinyl is here, because we've seen a bunch of the records and things in like I Love Groovy Music and some of the other apartments. I don't think this like bright red one, any of the ones that we've seen. Silent Hill 4 vinyl? I have that vinyl, actually. I have the Silent Hill 4 OST on vinyl with that, like, red and orange cover. So the same thing was kind of crossing my mind, Oleander. It's a very similar color scheme. Because the Silent Hill 4 vinyl is Jasper on fire with the sword of obedience sticking out of him. Can't get a very direct shot of it, unfortunately. Oh. That's the best look we're gonna get at it. It's a dock. So it's like a dock on a beach. Or like a little house, gazebo thing. You can see furniture there at the bottom. And then, like palm trees. Not at all what I thought it was. Just seeing this. Just seeing this little top part of it. I was like, what is this? Death metal album? Or Silent Hill 4 soundtrack? Beachside Resort. I was way off. Hey, some new things. Pair of glasses. System pipe. Pair of headphones. Saw those in a few other places as well. Storage boxes. Yeah, some unique environmental things. Seen the guitar. Another guitar in the same room with the piano. The first redwood piano that we come across. And books on like the shelves. Yep, I recognized this box of books. I'm like, is the scary face in this one? And there it is. We found that last time. In a different place. Cool. Love it. Love all the details. Even if the use of the music is like a little bit weird, I still do like the music. But I do agree. I do agree with your opinion that it takes away a little bit of impact from hearing it in the OG, specifically only after that very somber moment. The very end of Brookhaven. This is the same room where Mary's shadow was, yes. This lamp and the window right here. Although now that we're in the room itself, it's not illuminated the same. Nothing, no light, no silhouette or anything outside. Lamp is off. Or painting to try and reverse image search. See if I can find this one. There it is. Right away. John Atkinson Grimshaw, The Lovers, Landscape. So it's actually a painting called The Lovers. Yeah, it's like a whole landscape, but then you have these like silhouette of two people embracing. So it's a real piece of artwork, but obviously thematic to James and Mary. On top of the music, on top of being the room with the silhouette. glad I was able to find that one with a quick search. I don't always get a result fast enough, and I don't want to linger on it too long. These playthroughs are already long enough. Yeah, so now the light and everything is off. Oh no, the window closed. That would never stop me. Let's see what happens if I clip outside after the window closes. Ugh. Doesn't actually lock you out or anything. Closes this. James is a wizard now. No locked doors can hold him. You're the masters of our nightmares. We go where we want. And in the rusty tub. It's a really, really gross tub. Same sort of toilet that we've already come across. Rust tub, rust tub. Can you break the glass? You should be able to, because you actually do that for a puzzle later. So, yeah. I'm gonna say. I know the effect is in the game. Because you have to do that when you're getting the body of the swan for one of the puzzles coming up. We need to shoot all the things. There hasn't been nearly enough destruction of environments during this playthrough. You're absolutely right. Key to 306. Just go right through. Did you get the box set they just released? I got medical bills. I'm not getting anything right now, unfortunately. There's a lot of cool stuff being released around Silent Hill and stuff in general. I definitely can't afford any of it at the moment. Try to look at how some of these environments change. I was trying to get him to do it again. Yeah, Oleander, that animation, it was like taking damage from the stuff on the ground while he was taking a drink, a health drink. Seemed like it had a unique animation. whole lot actually there. Thought he was shielding his face from the gas and gagging? That may have been it. I thought he was choking on his health drink because he took damage while I was healing. To try and test it. Ow. Oh, come on. Do the pounce. Do the pounce. Do the leap. Did they not do the leap yet? I thought they would do the grapple. Like, all of them could do that. Not like a specific variant. I wonder if they're less likely to do that or don't do that on easy combat. No? There it is. Maybe they're just less likely? Probably a range thing, maybe. There it is. I just kind of wanted to see some of these animations we haven't really looked at yet. A little bit more clarity of the face. There's a good image. It's like the Matrix. Get a Matrix spin for the mannequin dismount. Uh, 306. Flying figure just hanging out around the corner here. James is actually turning his head to like look at stuff. Which was a thing in the original games as well. OG Silent Hill 2, you didn't have little visual prompts and things to tell you what you could interact with. A lot of times you'd have to pay attention to James's model and see when he turns his head and looks at things. I like how it serves as a distraction, like turn and look at this, so that the lying figure has a chance to jump out at you. While you're dealing with that one, this one gets up. Okay, so yeah, he was just choking on the The lying figure gas. The toxic cloud. It's handling it well. And there's nothing in the drawer. Insult to injury. It's there just as a distraction so that this lying figure can jump you, and while you deal with that one, this one can jump you. Careful. I don't think I've seen a box with careful written on it. Breakable. Careful. Weird picture frame thing. Photo of a man holding a baby. Again, I think a lot of these are maybe personal photos from Bloober Team or public domain photos. Some of them for sure are public domain, because I do know there was another fan who had shared some of the ones that they found, mostly things in Brookhaven, on the Silent Hill subreddit, like months ago. I think a few of these we've seen already as well. Yeah, the like couple holding the baby, these very PT kind of reminiscent photos. Definitely not demonic children. Here's the photo I thought was kids on a roller coaster. Apparently they're playing a game where you pass a ball back and forth over your head. That one looks... Kid holding up a picture of a castle. Or a church or something. And holding a baby. Baby's face is smudged. Weird little edits. Electrical diagram. Something? Those lines? Would love to know if someone can make hide or hair of that diagram. Same. There's a lot of this stuff. I'm no electrician. It might not even be an electrical diagram. That's just, in my limited knowledge, what it reminds me of. Kid holding creepy baby. It's funny because somebody in chat, as I look at the creepy pictures of kids, they were like, little Walter? But like, kind of every creepy little kid looks like little Walter. A lot of these. Similar stuff to one of the other rooms. There was like the walker, the older model of TV. Just, again, at one point, I can remember we still had a TV like this, and it was not in much better condition, because even by the time, you know, I was still fairly young, we had this TV, or a similar TV to this one, and we just had the new TV on top of it. You just throw a cover blanket over it, and it becomes a table for the next TV that you just set on top. That was the trick. Was the experience that a lot of us had back in the day. You didn't get rid of the old TV. The old TV just became a table for the new TV, because it was just a giant block of wood that was next to impossible to move. Wood and metal. Looks like a lot of the same books and folders and stuff that we've kind of seen already, but never know. One's a little more unique. The horse. Although I think we may have seen one like this was in the Andy's bookstore, part 1 or part 2. The early parts of this playthrough, whenever we got to Andy's bookstore. A lot of flowers, fork and knife. Don't think I'm gonna be able to get shot where I can actually see these covers, unless they're sort of laid out in the open. And some very low poly books on the bottom shelf. How detailed the stuff on that shelf is. And then down here, got the PS2 texture. Really wanted to harken back to the old days, the original game. Now we've got the tools and stuff laying here. Pliers and screwdriver where somebody took off the vent. They knew which shelf to optimize. I mean, true. It's the one people are gonna pay the least attention to. And just calmly walking out of there. Going in the kitchen. Climbing over the wall. Now it's hiding. Broken mirror sitting in the tub. Like they ripped the mirror off the wall above the sink. Took it into the tub with them. Gotta shoot it. Watch this one have a painting. Nope, just blood. And this has physics. Bloody handprint on the door frame. Bloody hoof prints. Mannequin stump prints. Those were already there. Right? They're not this mannequin's footprints. They don't even follow the path that the mannequin took. Environmental storytelling. Yep. So again, how I would interpret this, a bathtub full of blood, glass in the tub with them, one of the lying figures in here that has like, I don't know, it's tape coming up off of it, I think, but it looks like little shards of glass. You were to interpret that as like a reference to suicide, a common cutting oneself in a bathtub to take their own life. James's mind is projecting thoughts and images of suicide. It's something that he was also considering when coming to the town. It's what drew him to the town in reality in the first place. But then the idea that footprints then lead away with bloody handprints as though they got back up out of the tub and walked off. Or maybe it's just a creepy bit of set design to make you interpret things, make you follow bloody footprints so that you get jumped by a mannequin. Actually a design. Can't quite make out what it says. There's something on the bar of soap. Like streaks on the ground, kind of implying something may have been dragged. Shards of glass. are taped all over the room. Just randomly, like, taped to the ceiling, little bits of glass. In a room full of broken mirrors. Mostly broken. How many bullets have I got? 54? We've got this one behind us, and I'm pretty sure this one gets up, doesn't it? If I remember. Thought at some point that one also gets up. Shards of glass everywhere hanging from the ceiling. And that combined with like the bathtub imagery, I think definitely supposed to give that implication of self-harm. Anything hidden? What's your best RTA for shooting all the mirror shards? Oh my god, you can do that. I've never done it before, so doing it right now. Miss. Miss. My accuracy score. Yeah, I was not expecting that. I don't think I ever tried doing this, like shooting at these shards and seeing if they would react. I was so focused on the mirrors and things around the room and on the walls, I didn't think to just shoot the shards. Really gotta shoot... Hello? Some are tougher than others. Apparently the tape is like indestructible. I was like, there's got to be ammo in here for you to do this, right? Give you some extra bullets. God. NA aim. Why I don't play first-person shooters anymore. I'm too old. No. I don't have enough. Oh, come on. We gotta find more bullets. Can you hit any with the plank? I mean, chainsaw don't reach. I don't think so. Cool detail, though. I definitely didn't think to do that in any previous playthroughs. Oh, there's bullets. Only 4 of them. Still not nearly enough. God damn it, the tape. Okay, I can hit some of these. How many are left? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gonna have to save up ammo for a future playthrough. Just for this room. Looking at how nasty the valve looks. All the painted parts that have like corroded and fallen off. Holding my valve pose. James. James. Good old chainsaw. Right through it. Radio has been released. That's the hour hand. Yeah, so pretty much once you solve that, hell, once you enter that room, normally that lamp and silhouette effect goes away. Alright, I really need to save my game. I really want to try something that might potentially break everything. Someone's banging on the H door. Who is it? It's no one. Nobody here. Alright. Save the game, just in case things break. I really want to see what happens if we just teleport down here to the Pyramid Head fight area. I like the lighting. That you get with the swinging overhead lamp. Theoretically, okay, front lobby after the Pyramid Head fight area is here. Oh, you can see both the closed version and the open version of the doors are spawned in at the same time. So when you get the cutscene of Pyramid Head leaving and opening up this exit, it's just already rendered there. Uh-oh. Well, some of the town is there. Oh. Well, we're in the particle zone. Oh, I'm falling. James is actively falling. And turning into some sort of godlike creature. What is this lighting effect? Oh. Gonna run around in the void now, I guess. If I look around with the camera, I don't think I'm gonna get to anything where I can teleport. Oh, there's a point of light. I'm zooming around with the camera. What is it? What could it be? It's James again. Okay. I really wanted to know. What happens if you try to just leave and I'm... Oh, if you reload the save... I didn't load the wrong one, did I? No, I still have the hour hand. Reloading the save turns the window lighting effect back on. Just no silhouette. All right. Interesting. It's kind of cool. Just it's kind of cool just seeing how the game renders a lot of stuff. Oh, it's the gross bed. This little area. Bird room. Okay, cool. Sorry, anyone who is sleeping. Don't worry, nobody sleeps to Nub Zombie streams. Got the twin bird pattern. Doorknob. Bird statues, or more maybe taxidermied. Insurance. Stick for balancing birds. Bird artwork. The toilet. We actually do have something kind of interesting. Specifically with this toilet. Now, first of all, hand check. Black ooze is still on James's left hand. Was there a door knocking sound in the game? If not, I've got a concern. There was earlier, but not like just now. Let me take a quick break. Okay, I'm back. There was not anything knocking Or at least nothing out there. Just ghosts. Honestly, rather ghosts than a person. Alright, so we've got our gross toilet. The Silent Hill 2 toilet. Where James is gonna stick his arm right through. When we can see the room that's below this area too. But little detail here. So this time around, we get one of the clock hands out of the toilet because they changed up how this puzzle works. In the original Silent Hill 2, sticking your hand in the toilet was optional, and inside you got a wallet, and in the wallet was a code to open up a safe. And it just had ammo and health and stuff in it. So next to this toilet, we can see now clearly with our free cam, because it kind of blends in with the rest of the environment, the wallet is here. The little reference to the original. The wallet is actually here. And it's got a B for Bames Bunderland. We see this wallet again later on. When we get to Heaven's Night, there's a little lost and found box that you can examine. And this exact same wallet is found in that box. But I thought that was a cool little detail. Little reference to the OG toilet puzzle. And I really want to pull this camera back and see what this cutscene looks like. I mean, it's just like an interaction, I guess. I wish I could cam hack these little moments. Like, I can't move the camera around while this is happening. There it is. Get some new audio. We get a clock hand. And we get a very, very nasty sleeve and hand. Alright, at this point, the black ooze on James's left hand that's been there since the Saul Street Apartments is finally gone. So that must just be like a separate model. Maybe they replace like the entire James model just to have the version that has poop hands as a whole separate thing. Now we'll have the gross sleeve for quite a while. Try and pay attention to when that sort of goes away. 'Cause I'm fairly sure it's gone by the time you meet Maria. So maybe after the Pyramid Head fight? Oh, and I like how the room and everything here changes after that interaction. Can't believe he wouldn't roll his sleeve up. Yeah, that's James Sunderland. That's Baines Bunderland. How he lives his life. No poop sleeve. No hand ooze. While we clutch this bird. Oh, it has like tear streaks. Poor pigeon. Sleeve is stained though, it's definitely browner. Is it? Might be. You'd think with how long the black ooze stayed on his hand that the stuff on his hand and his jacket. Yeah, you can see the lighting on it. Let me try getting by this little lamp. Definitely makes it look like it's still kind of wet. Yeah, still kind of damp. Look at some of these model details, since we know that the model's been swapped out now. His nails, surprisingly, are still clean. Nope. Left hand is clean. Right hand. Now we have stuff up under his nails. Do this. Try and get where we can see it a little more clearly. Because, like, his model does, over the course of the game, get, like, dirtier and dirtier. Stubble grows out. The, like, bags under his eyes get more noticeable. A lot of little changes. Same textures there. Love the lighting. Just the simple lighting change. These areas. See the gap that we broke through the wall is like closed up now. but just how, like, relatively nice this apartment looked before interacting with the toilet. And then immediately like this afterwards. Seesaw. H on door. James the demolition expert. That box of books again. There's the face, just peeking at you. Like how the mannequin hides. Like this one hides to make it look obvious. And then you have the second one waiting to jump you when you go after the obvious one. The shadow of the swan's head. Go. Now James is the swan. Swan Hill 2. Kind of want to fiddle with the camera angle to make it look like James has a swan head. I'm losing patience. Bulb spotted, yeah. We've seen bulbs. There's been several bulbs already. But not freshly canned. That's the problem. And we're doing fancy finger for the swan head. Here we get a little closer shot of his right hand. The nails on his left hand are still clean. But the detail of the, like, dirt under the fingernails on the right hand, now that that sleeve is also gross. I am surprised that cleans the black ooze off of his opposite hand, though. He really wants that drink. Give me that nutrition supplement. That all loops back around. Guessing you already examined the animation for when he picks up an item. I mean, do you mean when he A poses? Like, or do you mean like immediately when he starts to reach for something? We can kind of do that. Yeah, because he grabs stuff and then he snaps into like an A pose. And usually if it's a key or like a key item, he'll extend his pinky finger out. Unless there's something else you mean, wear whiskey. When he sweeps his arm out and puts the item away somewhere in his jacket. So after the little examination moment. I'll try to see if I can get a better shot of that. Oh. There's our stock whispers. Classic OG Silent Hill 2 sound effect. And one that drove the fan base crazy. One of the perfect examples of over-analyzing things as a fan, and I'm going to say that right now as a fan who does that all the time. But, you know, we should learn from things like that. That whisper sound effect, it was in the original Silent Hill 2 in 2001, and for about 15 years, people would argue over it, about who it is, if it's James, if it's Guy Seehee, what he's saying. You had fans who were trying to listen to it and analyze it, and like, oh, he says something about do some laundry, see my dead wife, go home to escape, and people trying to like pick apart the meaning of it, and then you even had fans then asked Jeremy Blaustein, who was the localizer, translator, casting director. Like, he cast all the actors and worked with all the English-speaking actors for the mocap and everything of the original game. So eventually there was an interview with Jeremy Blaustein, and Blaustein didn't know the answer, so he was like, yeah, it might have been Guy Seehee in the recording booth. just mumbling or whispering something to himself in between takes. One of the sound guys thought it sounded cool, so they snipped it and put it in there. And for a couple more years, fans thought that was the answer. And then eventually, a fan on a forum was like, no, it's a stock sound effect. Here's the CD that it comes from. And like, sure enough, it was literally just a stock sound effect off of a stock sound CD that all sorts of media and stuff at the time would use. But like, the fact that there were years, and I mean a long fucking time, of people analyzing that thing, that sound, just for it to be revealed to just be a stock sound. It was just a creepy sound effect from a stock CD that somebody, maybe Yamaoka, liked the sound of it and stuck it in the game just to be creepy. And you need to kind of keep that in mind as a fan. Sometimes you're overanalyzing. Sometimes it is just that simple. Some things are just there to be creepy and unsettling. They're not necessarily deep. They're not necessarily super meaningful. You just have to appreciate that something is creepy for the sake of being creepy, without a whole lot else to it. Like I said, stuff like that, as kind of funny of a situation as it was, it still really does put things in perspective. A lot of times, something's just creepy and weird. This seems very, like, particular. Like this thing, yeah. Like, is this an actual painting? Is it something meant to be creepy and just sort of invoke a particular feeling? Don't find an exact match doing a quick reverse image search. You think it looks like one of the hallways at Lakeview Hotel? I mean, it's hard to tell what I'm even looking at, you know? You can see the beams. Yeah, there's like wooden beams and kind of like the wood along the floor, and like a pillar sticking out right here. The three like dark shadows kind of throw me off, kind of draw my focus more than the rest of the image. We got another Pamacrony Rotman TV model. Always thought it was an edited screenshot of a room from the original Silent Hill 2. I mean, it honestly does look sort of like the Lakeview Hotel in OG Silent Hill 2. The more I look at it, and the one thing that's sticking out to me the most Do I have an interaction dot here? I don't. Gonna kind of use that as like a cursor. So the one thing that stands out to me is this beam, this little corner where the walls meet on the right hand side. And the only reason that sticks out to me is from years of speed running the original Silent Hill 2. So there's an out of bounds in the OG Silent Hill 2 in Lakeview where you run downstairs. It's where you very first enter. You turn right. You go into the room where the piano and Laura are. After you exit that room, there's a staircase going down towards the bar. And there's there's like a little hallway area down there. So if you turn your flashlight off and try to open your map to bring up the text that says like it's too dark to read the map, and then mash quick save, you can run back up the stairs without actually going to that area, and it clips you out of bounds. And if you run in the correct direction, you can actually skip all the way to the basement area without having to use the elevator where you put all your items up and everything. And I always used a visual cue to know which direction to run, because once you're out of bounds, you're just running in like a pure black void. And what I would use for the visual cue is part of the text on the screen. I would line it up with a board or a beam in the corner. And this sort of looks like that little part of the hallway, like the beam that I would use to line that up visually. Where the stairs going back up to the piano room would be right there. But there's also bathrooms in that little area. It's not just a flat wall here, the way this sort of depicts. But just looking at the way the beams look and the way the stuff around the floor looks, it feels like that same area. We'll have to take some pictures, take some screenshots and stuff from OG and compare there. What that could potentially be. Wanted to check the other side of stuff like this that's kind of flipped down onto the ground. Oh. Got another body-shaped stain on a bed. This time, we've also got the shape under the blanket. We saw another apartment that has these kind of stains like all over it, just on the bed sheets and stuff themselves. But now, yeah, you can see there's even like a very flattened but still somewhat distinct sort of lump under the bed there. No actual body. There is stains on the bed. Does Mary's bed have a blanket? So it did. More importantly, Mary's body in the back seat of James's car is covered with a blanket. And it has blue forget-me-nots, very similar to this. I'll have to go back and check to see if it's the exact same floral pattern as the blanket that's covering her body in the back seat. but at the very least, it's, yes, very similar. Similar motif. Maybe the same texture. Same pattern. But yeah, I honestly don't remember. Nice little moment here where they have the mannequin giving a silhouette very similar to the lying figure or mannequin. Seeming like somebody's in the shower. Also maybe a little bit of a Psycho reference. Really gross looking bath water. Nothing under the sheets there. And yeah, looking at this mannequin up close, very similar to the other mannequins that we looked at in previous parts. Like the ones when you first get the flashlight in the room where you find the mannequin wearing Mary's clothes. The details, the facial structure of this mannequin, those like high cheekbones, the shape of the nose, the shape of the mouth, the shape of the jaw and everything, looks very much like Mary/Maria. It looks a lot like Salome Gunner's daughter, the actress who plays Mary and Maria. Missing a hand. Wearing them heels. And sort of floating a bit. To be at the right height for the silhouette. Oh, he does the pinky thing with this too. Malformed figurine part. See the little hook or whatever this was that it was hanging on. Or like a nail that's been twisted around. The legs getting pushed up by the door. I love the physics on a lot of the enemies and stuff. Now we have our beautiful swan. No Bethesda moments yet? Oh, I had that in my very first playthrough. If you've seen my first playthrough of this game, which that whole thing is up on my YouTube, of course, we had a mannequin that was just like floating in place that would, you could hit it and it would squash down and then pop right back up. Like it was dead, but it was still standing up. And still reacted to collision. There we go. There's our winged key inside of James's head. And the broken bird puzzle. Swan fell apart. And the giant hole in the floor and the super gross bed. The one that's like completely rotted. More floral pattern. Potentially a body silhouette there. Jump down this hole, yes or no? Yeah, in the original, it was just, you'd have these situations, and it's just a yes or no. In the remake, it's like, press E multiple times. You really want to do it? There's our glimpse of the past. For the original coin puzzle. The OG coin puzzle from the PS2 game. They replaced it with the big fancy rotating one. With all the new poems and everything like that. And you even have the original poem. They rewrote this for the remake. But you have the original writing for the OG poem there, too. 3 bright coins in 5 holes be. At one end sits the seducer of she. The wind from behind the woman doth play. The formless one null lies furthest from they. The old one beside the serpent sits not. 'Tis to the prisoner's left that he doth rot. That's the normal riddle. I'm trying to remember. I think that's the normal riddle variation of that puzzle from the OG. It's different depending on if you're playing on easy, normal, hard, or extra riddle. They all have different poems. I think this is normal riddle, if I remember correctly. It's definitely not hard. It's definitely not extra. It's either easy or normal. I'm pretty sure it's normal. Start questioning my memory. That makes sense. They want to make it the one that most people would have seen. I agree. That would probably be the version that the majority of fans of the original would recognize more than the others. Because if you're going to pick any one, normal is kind of the default. Just peeking in cabinets, yeah. Iona Sloth. That's been what we've been doing for the past week. Very slowly, meticulously going through this game with a free cam. And we're looking for Easter eggs. We're looking at models and environments, just super up close and details. We're teleporting James into little spaces where he's not supposed to go. All sorts of stuff. Also, I just really like the lighting in this area. Get these nice, like, pillars coming in from outside. Nothing on that side rendered. Don't have the key for this yet. Still have the lighting effect up here with no silhouette. Already light in Pyramid Head's little arena. Once we start going that way. Just outside of the room we were in. I like how it's just almost got like the worst part of the hallway, and then this part where it's like relatively normal on this end again. Like we're back in Woodside for a moment. And of course, it's where we're going to meet Angela. Just like with Eddie, we've got some clues to Angela, her character, her past, in the environment. Several of these are set up the same way as the original Silent Hill 2. You've got the one relatively normal, like clean looking door next to the one that's boarded up. And the color of like bruised skin. More than just kind of being stained. I always saw this door as looking bruised. Especially in the original. I feel like they did a good job recreating that for the remake. The bear, the little toy bear with blood on it. Just kind of giving you the impression of childhood, the fact that Angela was abused since childhood. Blood-stained teddy bear, kind of reflecting aspects of that. And a religious painting. See if I can identify this one quickly. I like how the first result is somebody else posting about it in the Silent Hill Reddit. But it doesn't seem to actually identify the source. Somebody just sharing some various shots of things, like just these pictures, without actually like identifying the source of them. Yeah, definitely a depiction of somebody getting a crown of thorns. Whether that's Jesus or a saint or something else entirely. Another deer in the woods. Saw a similar painting like this in the apartment that's a recreation of James and Mary's home. Similar to that one, this one also has wolves sort of watching the deer. Be an idea of like the deer being the innocent, the wolves ready to strike. Yeah, you could draw a parallel to the deer being Angela and the wolves being her father and brother. Like the two abusive figures in her life. Got breakfast meat. Mm-mm. That's what I'm making for dinner tonight. And some spaghetti. Pasta and meatballs made with pork. Sepi Napoli. Butter cake. Chocolate chip. Booze. Coffee. All the essentials. The cleanest trash can in all of Silent Hill. Look how much trash there is around here. And then, like, the perfectly untouched trash can liner. Rent's probably crazy here. In New York, this apartment is like $4,000 a month. Handprints, like smudged on the TV. I love all the handprints in the dust and smudges and things everywhere. Just to kind of add to a lot of the props and things. Big gashes and stuff on the TV. You have to look very closely at it, because I believe this is the one that Angela grabs and smashes over the abstract daddy. All right, let's clip into, well, first let's clip in here. Not rendered, you can see the other side of the closet. What about in here? Angela's not in here yet. Want to try teleporting in here and hopefully it won't trigger cutscenes? Hey. Let's look at stuff. More pictures. Oh, that's kind of a creepy one. It's like a house out in the middle of a field, but you can see there's like a little kid in the door. And a woman standing off in the field. Silent Hill DLC for Power Wash Simulator when? I mean, that would be amazing. I'd do it on stream if they did that. That reminds me, I need to play... What game is it? House Flipper? There's a game like that. It's not Power Wash Simulator. I think it's House Flipper. Where one of the places you unlock that you're selling in House Flipper is Room 302 from Silent Hill 4. I've been meaning to do a stream or a video or something on that. And just haven't gotten around to it. Potentially a picture of Angela or her brother, maybe. Hate how the splotches are perfectly imitating eyes. Yeah, I've noticed they do that with a lot of their edits. You played that? It gives you the option to play it with haunts or not. You even get haunts. You get hauntings. That's great. I'll have to get to that eventually. It's a map of the United States. This was a thing in Angela's room in the original Silent Hill 2. For some reason, she just had a big map of the US hanging on this wall. Glad we kept that detail. America jump scare. Yeah, scariest thing in the game right here. There it is. we've got the family photo, the ripped family photo. Little Angela and her mom. Ripped apart from the dad and the brother. Dad looks like he's got his eye poked out. Oh man, there's even like fingerprints. You can see the little like fingerprint swirl on the surface of the picture. This little tiny closet. Oh. You can see the way the reflection effect works by rotating the camera out of position. That's kind of fun. Very different type of reflection technique. Oh, that's trippy. It's like the mirror in Silent Hill 3 in Brookhaven. But yeah, in the original Silent Hill 2, they do this reflection by just making a complete copy of the room that mimics all of your actions. So there's a duplicate James and a duplicate room. What's the book on the floor by the closet? Ah, this little magazine. Fashion magazine. Ugh. Oh, that's also her dad, isn't it? Smile and the poked out eye. No, it's a bit different. Hard to tell what that could be. Some of these other little images might be. But yeah, it's like a fashion magazine. A lot more detail to it than I thought. Torn clothes? I mean, yeah, there are torn out pages. We've seen little scraps like this kind of all over so far. Like you can definitely imply a lot more meaning to it being here, relating to Angela and the abuse, but it's also just kind of a trash asset that we've already seen in a lot of places. Clothes hanger. All the hangers and stuff here. Key. Book. Not too much significant that we can see anyway. Makes me wonder how many things are... Oh man. We can pick up the key. We don't want to skip Angela. I'm curious what picking up the key would do. Okay. Through the mirror. What the other side of the mirror looks like. Definitely not the same effect as the original Silent Hill 2, where they just duplicate everything, but kind of a weird little space there. Oh. Oh! So in there is where you fight Pyramid Head. That's where you exit the apartments. And then there's Angela's room right on the other side. Nice view. Okay. I think we've looked at everything. Now we can actually watch the cutscene. Sushkis. Hello, Mr. Zombie. Finally caught you live from EU. How would you feel if Bluebird did the ultimate subversion and made Eddie's campaign DLC instead? Like a playable Eddie campaign instead of Born from a Wish with Maria? Oh, I think that would be awesome. If you've ever watched any of my old story playthroughs of Born from a Wish and the original Silent Hill 2, I always said I would much rather have had a side story about Eddie or Angela or Laura instead of Maria. I think you know enough about Maria, just like who she is and what she represents, just through the main scenario and your main interactions with her. I don't think, like, I like the Born from a Wish sub scenario, but I didn't feel like it was super necessary to clarify those things about Maria. Whereas there's a lot more mystery behind Eddie and Angela and Laura. I would be really interested to see stuff from their perspective. So I would like that. I'd like if they did a DLC around other characters, not just Maria.
Uh, さっきの
そうジェームスだ
アンジェラよ。
アンジェラそれで何を考えているかはわからないが危ないことはやめよ
そう？何が問題なの？逃げるのは簡単よ。二人にはふさわしいでしょ。
二人
私とあなた同じでしょ。
私は違う。
怖いの？ごめん。
いいさ。お母さんは見つかった？
いいえ、まだよ。
本当にいるのか、ここに。
さあ、
でもこの町に住んでたんだろ？
そうなの？なんで知ってるの？
いや、君がここでお母さんを探しているからそう思っただけ。
ああ、ごめん。あなたの探している人は見つかった？
まだだ。彼女はメアリー、妻なんだ。
ごめんなさい。
いいんだ、見つかるわけないよな。3年前死んだのに。
もう死んでる？
大丈夫、私は正気だ。ただそれでも
ママを探さないと。
一緒に行かないか。この町は変だ。墓地で君が言った通りだった。
いえ、大丈夫。私は邪魔になるし。
あ、ちょっとそれは。
これ預かってくれる？
ああ、構わない。
持っていると楽になりたくなっちゃうから。ダメ！私が悪いの。ごめんなさい。お願い。でも
And then it throws us right back into gameplay. Get that really tragic scene with Angela. Just even starting to hint at what's going on with Angela. And getting that interaction between these two. It's just, you really are getting already the feel of sort of Angela's desperation and her sadness. When she's first laying there, feeling like you're walking in on her about to just give up on everything. Yeah, James hits the fancy finger. Throws us back in here with Angela's knife. Blood still on it. Same knife that she used to kill her father. All the detail on it, all the little nicks and scrapes. Little scrapes along the blade where it's been run through like a sharpener at some point. There isn't that much blood for the fact it's a murder weapon. I mean, who knows what Angela did in between us getting it here. Might have wiped some off. She might have stabbed other things with it. Maybe it's not her father's blood. Key of resilience. Yeah. As is custom, fancy finger when we pick up keys. Too bad you can't, like, smash the entire giant mirror. Break the TV. Do that instead. There's even like a little puff of smoke. Have a good night, Ayana. Don't worry, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow morning. So I actually need to find a save point. And call it myself, so you're not going to miss too much. Oh. Managed to get James taking his map out. I mean, his marquee. His Sharpie marker. I combine those words into marquee. Permanent marker. Something pen. It actually says something on the marker. Only I could clip through James's big dumb fingers. B.O. pen. It does look like the last letters are B.O. Does that say Pubo? Is that a Pubo pen? The Pubo pen permanent marker. We'll have to try and get a better shot at some point. Next time we're going to write something down in our map. We'll have plenty of chances. Because James does that a lot in this game. But I think it said Pubo Pen. Oh. Mannequin running in here. It's gonna come and hide behind this little barrel. I love how the door just shuts. Yep, there it is. Ah, we've got another piano. Last time it was the like really nice, it said redwood across it. And we've got the fucked up otherworld piano with Vers la Flamme. Accurate sheet music, too. Nice textures in this game. Oh yeah, that's been like the main thing. Also, there are actually keys under the cover. Under the dust cover. You can't open this or interact with it. But the keys are there. There's even some broken ones that are like hanging down loose. Another little board across it. Secret piano puzzle Easter egg? I mean, there's a piano puzzle in Silent Hill 1. They could have put some blood on the keys and referenced that. Kind of surprised there's something like that is not there. Want to look underneath everything. All these little covered props and things in the area. Mannequin is just patiently waiting back here. Like I'm gonna scare him so good. One of our mysterious photos on the ground. Room 208. Forever together. We both missed. But yeah, we looked around this area the first time we came through, or we kind of clipped in and looked at it. Even like I always forget. Stalagmites? What are the ones on top? Stalagmites or stalactites? Rowing down from the ceiling. Stalactites are on top. Gotcha. But yeah, this is all where you fight Pyramid Head at the end of the apartments, the original Silent Hill 2. And we're actually going to get a glimpse of the past. We're going to find a dead lying figure over here, which in the original game, Pyramid Head kills a lying figure right here before you fight. Like, your first time through, you don't get the flashback. Not until you come back again and the lying figure's actually there. Oh, our mannequins should have moved. Yep. From the last time we looked at all these. Repositioned our low poly mannequins over here. One actually mannequin enemy, like, wrapped up under the things. Until they're supposed to kind of be enemies. These have heels. Kind of similar to the nurses. I like how we have the clock room itself kind of changing. Oh, and we have we have dead butterflies, dead moths. laying on the bed. That was a detail in the original Moth room in Silent Hill 2. Yeah, more floral. Very faint rose pattern on the blankets. But yeah, dead butterflies and stuff everywhere here now. One of those recurring thematic elements. Mary writes in her final letter that she feels that she's wrapped in a cocoon. Like literally cocooned by pain and loneliness. You think of Mary dying and sort of becoming Maria. Similar to a metamorphosis. And the picture here in front of the window, you can see the butterflies all still flying around. That's definitely different from before. Great detail there. We have anything interesting out here again? Now we're getting the metal scraping noises. Getting closer and closer to our Pyramid Head encounter. Only one clock hand left. And then we will have our showdown with Pyramid Head. And then we're done with the apartments. So we should be able to cover all of that tomorrow night